your name, your company's name, where you're from, and what your company is best known for.
My name is Ann Lukeman. I live in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, and together with my husband, Chris, I own Champaign-Urbana Adventures in Time and Space, or CU Adventures, as we call it. I think CU Adventures is probably strongest at immersive storytelling. We really enjoy taking the narrative elements that we learned in our previous career as filmmakers and applying them to kind of the escape room style. I think we're probably best known for bringing our escape rooms to Gen Con, where we kind of get to see a much larger audience than we do here in Champaign-Urbana.
Hi, I'm Summer Herrick. I live in Seattle, Washington. My company is Locurio. I would say that Locurio is best known for having story-driven escape rooms with very strong puzzles.
Hi, this is Gijs Geers from the Netherlands. I am the founder and CEO of DarkPark, also in the Netherlands. And what I believe our company is best known for is our total immersion.
My name is Megan Mouton. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. My escape room is Carré. I think that Carré is known for our customer service, kind of industry-wide. We train our employees to really focus on creating a relationship. I guess we're also known for our puzzle flow. We usually get a lot of positive comments on that, as well as value. We've been the same price since we opened, even though we continue to invest and kind of make our experiences better.
My name is Seth Wolfson. I am in Seattle, Washington, the United States. Hourglass Escapes. I think we're best known right now for our Evil Dead 2 escape room and the live remote version and utilization of camera work and characters. Also, we have an upcoming 2-day workshop on helping people to get their escape room from in real life to live remote.
My name's Amy Phillip. I'm from Portland, Oregon in the United States. I own both Escape Games PDX in Portland, Oregon, and Paradigm Q Escape Games in Vancouver, Washington. I'd say what my company is best known for and strongest at is its people. I take a lot of pride in hiring the right people for the right position, and if it's not working, take action pretty quickly.
My name is Bogdan Dascalescu. I am originally from Romania, a small city close to Dracula's Castle in Transylvania. Currently, I live in Dubrovnik in Croatia with my girlfriend, and we are waiting for a little baby soon. Up until 2 years ago, we were called Dubrovnik Escape Room, but since we opened a new location this year in Romania, in Brașov, we went through a rebranding and we chose Puzzle Punks. People know us as having well-designed games, maybe not the best, maybe not the most advanced, but well-designed and balanced games.
There are 3 goals we have for this conversation today. The first is to capture lessons from your experiences over the last few months. The second is to capture the moment, because these are really different times than any of us have ever experienced before. And the third is a little bit of group therapy for all of you and for everybody who's watching this and who is attending RECON. So with that in mind, we're going to jump right into the first question. Let's go into a time machine. New Year's Day, 2020. What was your outlook for your business?
New Year's Day 2020, the outlook was pretty awesome. We had just had one of our best November and Decembers, and our newest location, Paradigm Q, had just opened in September of 2019. To be perfectly honest, our 2020 was about growth and really honing our skills in both puzzle design. I think we found our niche and what our guests are really looking for. So if you come to play our games, they have a fairly, I'd say, distinct feel. Puzzle play. I had a full build team that had just come through with a new designer, lead game designer, as well as a phenomenal scenic artist and carpentry artist. So it looked pretty rosy for 2020.
For us, New Year's of 2020 was looking pretty good. We had seen a slight decline in our numbers, likely due to a slower tourist season, new competitors in the market, things like that. So the beginning of 2020, we were focusing on our marketing efforts and really ramping that up. So Google AdWords and social media marketing. We had 2 games in pre-production, one for New Orleans and one for Metairie. And a little slower, but we were excited about where we were going.
We were excited because we're about to announce our officially licensed Arkham Horror escape room based on the board game. We were basically in the budgeting and planning stage, ready to put our design to work. And maybe actually we're also looking into an expansion in the summer of 2020. Just even reading this question is pretty heartbreaking.
At the start of 2020, we were really, really excited for this year. We had a lot of really cool things that we had planned. In addition to finishing up the build on our 6th and 7th rooms here at our main facility in Champaign-Urbana, we were also looking into trying to create a new business next door adjacent that would be kind of a mini golf bar. We were really excited to kind of use mini golf as a pivot point or as an expansion of what we've learned through the escape room industry, and really try to use mini golf to tell stories or to gamify or to kind of use it as an interactive and immersive entertainment option. And we thought that was going to be really cool. Obviously, 2020 being what it was, that's not happening anymore, but that was our plan.
So New Year's Eve, we just opened a few days before our new location in Romania. We were hoping to have a great year because everything was going well. So we just thought it would be a great year. We will build 2-3 more games over there. Currently, we have just one. We were thinking for Dubrovnik as well to improve a bit the games, to change maybe a bit the decorations, the puzzle flow, even the puzzle mechanics, just to make them a bit cooler. That's where we were. Everything was nice and dandy.
So going back to the beginning of 2020, Locurio was doing very well. December is traditionally our strongest month of the year. We have a lot of holiday business, and so we were coming off of that and feeling pretty good about things. We had actually been planning on doing a large expansion this year. We had been working on that for about the last half of 2019. So as of New Year's Day, we were excited for the prospects of the future and looking forward to creating a lot of exciting new games.
So the funny thing is, at the beginning of 2020, we had just ended an insane period of six plus years of keep building on our company and the future. And we had, at that point, just finished our last escape room, The End. And we started winning all these international awards, which was amazing, of course. But we didn't have any space left for extra escape rooms. And now we were just looking for direction or new ideas and room for the future.
As the realities of 2020 set in, what did you do? How did you adapt? What worked? What didn't work?
Just as the pandemic started, I think Rob from Rock Avenue Escape Rooms, I saw him at him first at his online live video escape room. Then I think Thomas launched, at Julia Ivanchenko from Heart Escape Room. I saw that she was doing this as well, and I played her game, which was very cool. And we decided to try and do the same. I did a bit of research to see how we can change the games in such a way that they are playable with an avatar. I had to make an inventory system, which I think at the beginning was one of the coolest, to be honest. We had a 360 panorama view with hotspots, which I think also we were one of the first to use. So when we launched the first game, Save King's Landing, we did pretty well for the first 2 months, to be honest, which saved a lot of troubles with paying rent and stuff like that.
So because we had been in the midst of designing a real alive escape room when the shutdown occurred, I was very driven to continue working on the design of that room because I was very excited about it. And so I didn't want to lose focus on that by pivoting to an online experience. I was very sort of averse to that. I do regret that because now here we are, however many months later, and we're still closed. And we are now switching one of our rooms over to a remote version. And I think that we are likely to not see things getting back to normal for quite some time yet. I think that it behooves all of us to come up with sort of alternate revenue streams, ways to keep the business fresh, ways to keep our employees employed.
Like many escape rooms, we immediately made plans to try and figure out something that we could do online, something that people could play at home. We released an online print and play hybrid game called The Lost Temple, and it did pretty well. I was pretty happy with how it turned out. We did a version that you could print at home, and we also did a deluxe edition that had high-end wooden pieces instead of just, the printed paper. And I think people really liked that. It was a nice stopgap. People wanted to support us. Our friends and family, and of course our fans were really excited to have something to do during that time when everyone was stuck at home. A lot of places did virtual games. We started development of one, but we were able to open in early July. And so we kind of put a pause on our virtual game development. I think we'll probably plan on that for the fall. Virtual games. We're also working on an outdoor game that would take players around in our downtown community, at a safe distance, of course, because outdoors seems like it's working out for people.
So at the beginning of the crisis, we made two adaptations. The first one was to start upgrading our current rooms right away, because we knew if we're going to survive this, and when we reopen, we have to offer our customers something. We cannot just say, oh, look, we're open again. We need to say, look, we're open again, and we have upgraded everything. So you really have to come play our rooms now because they're better than ever. We knew we would probably be closed for weeks, maybe even months. And we had all this space and these employees. So why not start upgrading right away? And the second adaptation was that we started a new business, DarkPark Games, and a new website. And we started selling escape rooms that we could send by mail. And this became such a success that we decided to keep doing that for our company. It was the wake-up call that we needed because we were lacking direction. We didn't know what to do next. And now, when the crisis is ended, we will have this successful new company, which is amazing.
The first thing we did to adapt was remote avatar games. I wish we did it sooner. I think it took us about 6 weeks to start that. And that was luck because really the generosity of Rob at Ready Mayor 1 in Rock Ave and Thomas Parslow with, putting together Facebook groups and inventory systems, and then the various people in the industry who just came together.
So to stabilize the business, we switched our focus from our players to our employees to try to make sure they were taken care of during this hard time. So that was really important to us. A lot of these people had never experienced it. Well, none of us have ever experienced anything like this before, but had never experienced losing a job because of, a decision that wasn't their own. So we encouraged everybody to file for unemployment before we closed. We knew it was coming down the pipeline. We told them, this is how you do it. This is what you do. This is what you write down. So we kind of handheld a lot of our employees through that process because a lot of them are young college students or fresh out of college. To stabilize the business, we did everything everybody else did as well to prep for returning. So hand sanitizers, masks, gloves, limited games per time slot, all of that good stuff. But in the immediate, when we closed, I think switching our focus to our employees really went a long way with them and for us, just to feel good that we're taking care of them.
The team that I have is the reason we've been able to pivot so quickly. We have actually created 2 online games. They're not virtual games with avatars in them. They're just online games that are based off of our current rooms. One is our Sasquatch game that we opened pretty quickly. It's not a fully robust game. It's getting a reboot right now. And we just offered that for free because we wanted something for people to do. And I have to tell you, my team crushed it. That was met with incredible success. So we decided to add on to that with our Amnesia game. So we added in a whole new virtual online game that was way more robust. And we do charge for that one. And that's also gone really well. So the best part about that was we've learned to pivot a little and add in another little niche. And we're actually designing one right now for our out of the past and into the future dueling games that we will be selling towards corporate. Anything I wish I would have done differently? I think there's a million things I wish I would have done differently. But most of them, the smarter business decision would have been potentially to lay more people off. But anybody who had a full-time job with me still has a full-time job. So I don't necessarily regret that, but maybe it should have been done differently. I will never know. And I hope not to have to figure that out.
I think this next question might be difficult to answer, but what is the current state of your business?
So as of right now, we have 2 games open in our facility of the 5 total that we have. We took it pretty slow. We're definitely more on the cautious side, and we were really lucky that we have a flexible landlord who is willing to work with us, so we weren't under that kind of pressure that I know a lot of other owners were to, make it work immediately. I would say we're booking steadily. One of the things that I've noticed is that it doesn't seem to matter weekend versus weekday. Maybe we get a few more bookings on Saturday, but we're just as likely to have as many on a Wednesday or a Thursday. We have reduced our hours a little bit. We closed on Monday and Tuesday. Previously, we were open 7 days a week. That just makes staffing a little bit easier since we haven't brought everybody back yet. We have extra time between games to make cleaning and sanitizing easier. We have an extra person on staff present to help with cleaning and reset. We do require masks the entire time. All staff and all players have to wear masks the whole time, which we haven't had any problems about. We're very upfront about on our website and on signs on the building. So everybody's been very respectful of that, which has been kind of a nice surprise.
We are barely making it, but let's say we hope for the best these next few months. So we hope we'll survive the year. The escape room in Dubrovnik, we started having bookings a bit more often, which is good. We stopped having online games, but that's my fault because I didn't promote it that much. So yeah, maybe that's on me. The Romanian business, there is very bad. There's not many bookings, but we still have to pay rent and everything and salaries. So that's a bit not that good, let's say.
As of right now, Locurio is not great. We're not reopened. The only thing we have open right now is our outdoor puzzle hunt. And I brought a staff member back on board to run that game, so we're not making any sort of money. If anything, I'm probably operating in the red and just going further into the hole. So things aren't great. We were lucky to get some of the government loans that are out there, so we have a lifeline, and we're just going to cling to that as long as we can.
So since a month or so, we are finally open, thank God. We are at like 50% in bookings. So yeah, it was hard, and it still is hard, but I think it's important to stay strong and to look at the opportunities.
I'm having a lot of trouble, I guess, determining if we should be open more than reopening. But we were in a position where we had to keep people employed, to keep the business running. We had to open. We just are following all the guidelines and trying to do it as safe as possible. But at the end of the day, I still recognize this is just a game. I can start another business. I can get another job, but I can't I can't, give an employee or myself or a customer their health back if something happens. And it's something I'm struggling with. My goal, honestly, is to go as virtual as possible over the next few weeks. And if we can set ourselves up to go virtual fully, we'll shut down operations to the public. I mean, we're not doing that. There's not a lot of people coming in person.
So as of today, we're slow. I'm sure everybody is slow. But being in a tourist town, the pool of players has gone dramatically down. So now we're at the locals. Now the locals do want something to do, so that's good. We're getting a lot of more phone calls as time goes on. It seems that we're getting more interest. And something I thought was very interesting is that when we reopened back up, we got a lot of first-time players. So I don't know what's to blame for that, but maybe just people more time on their hands, maybe possibly more money on their hands with the unemployment federal stimulus. And we got a lot of first-time players, and we also in turn got a lot of first-time, we hooked them. A lot of people came back and played a couple games, so that was good.
That's a hard one to answer, to be perfectly honest. The amount of support that we have seen in both locations has been awesome, but we are still under quite a few restrictions here in Vancouver, no more than 5 players at a time. So that obviously limits us greatly. We're not open in Portland, and I'm not getting any assistance per se from the landlords. So it's every month debating on how well it's going and what we need to do. And the biggest issue for me, and just being completely honest, is that I have extra staff, and we are actually in the throw of creating another online escape room, as well as a new room that we anticipate being another seasonal room for us that allows us to do both Halloween and Christmas. So we also have some pretty big expenses coming up too, and that's hard, but I'm banking on the fact that at some stage, both locations will be open, and we will be positioned to really hit it out of the park. So I'm hopeful, but if I told you that I slept easily through the night and didn't have little minor panic attacks every so often, I would be lying. But I'm also lucky enough to surround myself with some people who are phenomenal business friends, both in the industry and other small businesses. My family is fantastic, and my boyfriend has become my personal therapist and bartender. So again, hopeful, but cautious. And to be perfectly honest, that's probably how I've lived my life. Even when we opened all of this, people thought we were crazy. And I just knew it was going to work. There was no other option. It was going to work. And that's how I feel about this. There's no other option. It's going to work. It may not look the same, but it's going to work. And it'll be better than it was before, because we'll have proven how strong we are, how we can be, and how we can adapt to change.
What are some of the most valuable lessons that you've learned over the past few months? And now, what's your focus?
I think we were so lucky when the shutdown happened that we had savings set aside for our new project. And that really helped us weather the storm without having to panic too much. And I think that's a good lesson, to always make sure you have that emergency fund set aside, even if it seems ridiculous at the time. It really saved us.
Do something. No one will help you. I mean, I know each country has different ways of helping the companies and stuff like that. But just don't wait for them. Just try to do something, invent something new, copy, not in a bad way, but copy and improve, of course. Just adapt for your business.
Personally and professionally, expense control. Life was really good pre-2020, so we were having fun with trying new things and spending money and seeing if this worked or if that was going to work. And I wasn't shopping around to find the best deals on things. It was, I'm willing to pay for it if it's that good. And sometimes you have to realize you don't always need everything to be that good. I would say the other thing that I would take away to make my business stronger, and we'd already discussed this, we just needed the kick in the pants to do it, is to diversify, but not diversify outside of what your wheelhouse is. So we're going to look at other ways to bring in escape game play entertainment money. And that I'm actually really excited for. So here's to 2020.5 into 2021.
In long term, I think there is a market for online games, and I think more and more people become aware of them. So I think we are going toward that area, at least for the foreseeable future until next year. Yeah, I think it's just be ready to change stuff. You never know what happens, so it's not about necessarily having plan Bs. That's amazing if you have, but just be ready to react and do the best for your business.
Ultimately, I think that having new forms of entertainment to provide to people, whether that's an online experience, a remote game, outdoor games, something else, it wouldn't necessarily help the business endure financially, because those things tend to not make us very much money, especially if we're hiring staff back to run those games, which is absolutely my intention. But at least it would allow us to bring staff back. And in my mind, even if we are operating right at the bottom line, I feel like that would at least allow Locurio to survive and move forward. And then hopefully we can hang on by our fingernails long enough that we can climb past that and start to make some money again.
I think second wave, I think we're still in the first wave. I think, at least here, more and more cases are popping up every day. This isn't over. It's not even close to being over. So we are taking it as an assumption that we will have to close again. We are taking it as an assumption that we will not be able to run games inside probably sometime in the fall and winter. So we're actively planning to build more digital games, virtual avatar-driven games, and outdoor games. And that is our prime development assumption at this time. And those are our goals, to create games that are going to work if we move backwards in our phases.
So my wish for the company is we have already built a really strong brand and we have a lot of fans of our company. But what I would like is to build a company that could survive in pretty much any crisis. We have split our company into physical escape rooms and escape rooms at home. But for the future, I would like both these companies to be able to keep running with low costs, even when there's no income. So that's our focus for now. We're going to build on the companies and we're going to keep building and build more spectacular and more beautiful escape rooms than ever. But we're also going to keep in mind that it needs to be affordable, because you can spend $1 million on an escape room, but if something like a crisis happens, you have nothing left. So we are building high-end escape room boxes by mail. But we do it in mass production. So we don't create like 10 or 20 of them by hand, but we have a production line, we have the machines. By now we have the know-how to create a game that is more special than a game that is created in a factory and that you can buy at a toy store. It has all these high quality materials that you can only create by hand. But we can create a lot of them at once. So I think that is, for us, the way to survive any crisis at this moment.
I think we're going to spend the next few months trying to go fully online and work on new things that people can do on these online games that aren't being done already. Trying to innovate that and try to make at-home escape rooms a new form of home entertainment that is very much in the public eye and in their consciousness.
Long term, we're just going to keep playing it day by day. We are going to continue to reinvest in our games. We have a new game that's about to enter beta. We have plans for a new game in Metairie. So, our outlook is positive, and kind of where we've been all along is that we're going to keep putting the money that we make back into the business in order to keep it growing, keep it sustainable, and just day by day. we'll get there. Yeah, but we're also doing a few things here and there, negotiating rent and things like that can kind of help us now that we know that our player predictions are going to be lower for the year.
This sounds terrible, but I fully intend to grow more, and I have already been approached to buy some other escape rooms or just take over. I think what I've created, mainly by creating this team that I have, we have the ability to do some pretty amazing things, and I don't want to miss that opportunity. I don't love the way that it came about, but I'm not about to miss that opportunity if it happens. And I hope everybody understands that's the business side of me, and I'm not trying to screw anybody over by taking over their business, but for a lot of people, it just gets the stress away from them. And I'm happy to do that and to continue to provide some creative jobs to my team, who honestly, the creativity on this team is pretty fantastic, and I don't want to let that go. I'll be selfish. I don't want to lose these people. They're just phenomenal people to be surrounded by.
All of you shared powerful, hopeful, and kind messages for everyone who is watching this panel. And I think that Summer summed up everyone's sentiments really well. So we're going to let Summer close out the conversation with a message for all of you struggling and looking ahead to the future.
You are not alone. I think that was something that gave me a lot of comfort once I let it sink in that this was not my fault, that I couldn't have expected this. We're all in this together. This has affected all of us. This has affected everyone in the world. And these are such tough times. It's so difficult right now, but now more than ever is a time to view this as a cooperative industry as opposed to a competitive one. There's very little business out there to be had regardless. Let's not fight over it. Let's support each other, because we're stronger together. And if we're going to survive this as an industry, as a community, then I think the more we can show each other that support and that love, the stronger we'll be. And if you love what you do the way I do, if you feel like, if you feel like this is a calling and that this is having the ability to create things that bring just a little bit of joy to someone's life, takes them away from their troubles, makes them kind of forget the world for an hour at a time. If that means something to you, then don't give up. Stay hopeful. Think about the games you're going to make. Please make those games. I want to play those games. Yeah, if you're in this business because you love escape rooms, I hope that you and your company are able to weather the storm and come out the other side. And I think that you will.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing these sentiments with us, for sharing your hopes, your journey, your struggles. We're so grateful that you opened up to the RECON audience, and I think that there are a lot of great messages in here for everybody out there so that we don't feel alone. So thank you to everybody, and we look forward to the next talk.
This is awkward, David and Lisa.
Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Lisa. And we're from RoomEscapeArtist.com, the hosts of RECON, the Reality Escape Convention.
This was one of 15 talks that we put on at RECON Global this year, a digital convention for the escape room and immersive gaming industries, for players and for owners and everyone in between. They gathered on August 23rd and 24th of 2020.
We're releasing all 15 of these talks about once a week over the coming months so that they'll be accessible to you. To find them, you subscribe here to the Room Escape Artist YouTube channel. And if you're interested in more information about RECON, go to realityescapecon.com and subscribe to the newsletter.
We put on RECON completely for free because we didn't want there to be financial barriers. We are, however, supported by our Patreons, and so we're thankful to those who are already supporting us. And if you have the ability to support us right now, and you want to, and you like what we're doing, we would really appreciate it. People who back us get early access to these videos along with a whole bunch of other perks.
That is the Room Escape Artist Patreon page. And if you're enjoying these videos and this industry, please support the creators in the space. Play their games in person or virtually. They're doing so many innovative things right now, and we hope that you'll enjoy those.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video.